Hey guys, happy November. I hope you all had a great Halloween. It's amazing that we haven't had a really hard frost yet. I'm kind of impressed by it. This is my window greenhouse, and here is how I am using it in South Carolina through the winter. If you would like to see step by step how we built this greenhouse, I'll put a link in right here. I'm working out in the greenhouse today, trying to get some broccoli separated and put into pots. So I was super late to the game with getting fall planting, so I'm trying to grow a couple of things in the greenhouse. If we get food from it, awesome. If not, then I get some garden therapy and a warm place to do some stuff in the winter when it's super cold outside, and it helps with the winter blues. So there's that. The peppers are looking like they got like mildly frosted maybe, but not hard frost. We're still getting peppers and tomatoes, and it's kind of impressive, honestly. I'm working on getting the greenhouse cleaned up and finding all of my pots and getting everything organized for the winter time, hopefully, so springtime won't be chaotic. The more organized you can be, the better. So my Brussels sprouts didn't come up, so I just put some purple cabbage in there because I can't find where I put the package of Brussels sprout seeds. And I've got some broccoli. I've got some trays of spinach. This is our mint over here. There's a holy basil hanging on. It's still alive. It never made it in the ground, so it's hanging out in the greenhouse. But I separated some of the broccolis into little pots, and then the big pots I'm going to use for my cabbages, and I have at least one more of the big ones. I may have two. One of them got broken because I was using it to hold hay for the sheep. So, and this bucket here, let me tell you about this. So I can't remember, it was years ago that I was reading about doing greenhouses and stuff, and they were talking about keeping water, like either big barrels or like gallon-sized jugs of water in your greenhouse, because it helps with the humidity. And then it also, when the sun is shining during the day, the water will hold the heat, and it'll help keep it warm through the night, because then during the night the water will release the heat back out into the greenhouse. So I have this great big barrel that doesn't have a top, so I can't use it for a rain barrel. And I thought maybe I'll bring that in here and fill it up like in the corner or something where it won't be in the way. And then it's like a big black barrel too, so it'll soak in that sunshine, warm up real nice, and then release the heat back into the greenhouse overnight, because my greenhouse is not like sealed. There are openings and cracks, and it works really well. Like, it gets super hot during the day, so I don't know necessarily that I want it to be completely sealed. But then that way it will release the warmth overnight and keep it warmer. So that's what's going on in the greenhouse right now. My plan is to start lettuce and spinach every 2 weeks so that we constantly have fresh lettuce and spinach coming in through the winter. When I have a few minutes of free time, I've been coming out and weeding the greenhouse garden because it got pretty weedy. And then I still need to shake out sift some compost and fill in the dirt and the rest. And then I've got a couple flowers back here that I need to get in the ground and fill up the rest of the back with compost. And then I want to move I've got like a ton of strawberry plants over here. They escaped from the garden. They're just like all through the yard. So I want to get all these strawberry plants dug up and moved now, before it gets too cold and while they're kind of dormant. So then we have strawberries over there, because the chickens ate all the strawberries this year. So you can see the strawberries escaped, and they're just kind of going everywhere they want to. There's bee balm everywhere too. Like, I didn't plant anything in this garden this year, just because the chickens were getting into everything. And oh, look, there's a chicken right there. So the bee balm just like took over the entire garden back here. I still got onions in here, but didn't really plant anything, but the bee balm just kind of spread itself out everywhere. I'm gonna grab this big pot right here and take that one to the greenhouse. Check this out too. So I didn't plant a single one of these cherry tomatoes. I've been coming out here and getting like a gallon bag of cherry tomatoes at a time. And I'm thinking, because they're so close to the house and we've got the HVAC system right here and the dryer vent right there, that they're gonna hold on longer than the garden. They're still going strong. Look at all the lint from the vent back there. But I'm honestly surprised the chickens haven't come over and eaten all of these cherry tomatoes because they're right here and accessible. So it's so funny, but yeah, I love free food. This little side garden is on my winter to-do list too. I have so much. I mean, when do I ever not have so much on my to-do list, honestly? But look at these. So these are the raspberries my mom got me. Look how good they're doing. They're doing amazing. So we should get raspberries this year. This is our thornless blackberry bush that I got from my friend Mariah, and it's doing really well. So I'm thinking I'm gonna need to put like a trellis for it, or do like T-post, 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 and then wire, and kind of hold it up. Hold on, what's that? That looks like a blackberry bush is trying to grow, oh no, into my house. I don't belong there. You don't belong there. You stay out here. Oh goodness. There's one going through. Why are you trying to grow inside the house? Anyways. Yikes. Why? I mean, it's dark in there. Why would they want to grow into the house? That's so bizarre, but okay. This whole mess is on my winter to-do list. It's so bad. Like, I had it all cleaned up last year, and it just went nuts this year with those wild blackberries in there. It's bad. It's got to get all cleaned up. So in the big garden right now, I've got the garlic and the winter rye, and I think that's it besides like the flowers that are still hanging on. Well, actually, there's a couple peppers still going. It might be a little bit frosty, but I can grab those. I came out the other day. We were supposed to get like a bunch of rain, and grabbed all of the dry beans. So like the green beans, like if they get too big, I just let them dry. We can use them for, like, I can plant them and let them grow and use them as greens for the chickens, or you can soak them and use them in soups. But we got a whole 5-gallon bucket of dried beans from that, and we've been slowly working like on shelling them. Just sit and watch a movie together with the kids, and we'll sit and work together on shelling beans or getting the rye out, like sit down tasks, because I don't know, I like to be productive even when I'm sitting. I have a hard time just sitting. This is where we pulled out all the sweet potatoes. I planted the right before all that rain was coming in, and then just covered it with some straw so we wouldn't have to worry about animals digging in the dirt. I don't see anything growing yet, but it should soon. Came into the garden to grab that pot right there, and I got distracted every time. There's the garlic popping up, looking great. There's one. Can't remember how many I planted in that section, but those ones are doing well. I'm gonna grab these jalapenos on my way out. This plant has given us a ton this year, and it's my only jalapeno plant. The way I can tell if my peppers are ripe is if you pull it up and it doesn't snap off, it's not ready yet. That one you just pulled it up and it just snapped right off, so this one's ready. I mean, who needs a basket anyways, right? And I still didn't grab that pot. There's actually a ton of pots in my garden that I could pull and put in the greenhouse and use for planting over the winter, but I could fill up the whole thing probably. Not a bad idea. Gotta make sure ants didn't make a nest in here before I pick it up and move it. Let's see. So these big pots like this, I found them for free. They were put out for the trash at the house where we used to live, and my mom and I carried them home. It was actually really funny because we were struggling and we had a stroller, so it was really funny. But if you're not able to purchase, like, honestly, I would recommend not purchasing pots because there's so many other options and it's pretty expensive to buy pots. One of the things that I can find frequently are these cat litter buckets. I find them like put out for the garbage pretty often. I've stopped collecting them for right now because I have a lot of buckets and stuff and I don't really need them right now, but they're great for using as pots. I used to use them for growing my potatoes in. I just used my drill bit and put holes like in the bottom of the bucket like that, so then the water can get out. And it's a free large pot because the big pots are really expensive. So it works. My goal here is to save money by growing food. So I don't want to be putting a bunch of money into purchasing pots and things if I don't have to. We've got our Roma tomato. Also did not plant this one. And it's got a bunch of green ones on there. And this one is super close to the house, so I'm expecting that it will last a while longer because being close to the house protects it from the frost. So I've just been pulling them green, unless there's ones that are red on there, and putting them in the windowsill. And they've been ripening up. Like, I cut up like 6 today. I made an omelet. So like, if you know there's a frost coming, you can go out and get all your green tomatoes and put them in a window and they'll ripen. So don't let them go to waste if you can help it. These are my tea plants. I'm surprised we're still getting so much bee activity, but it's one of the only things flowering right now besides the flowers that have hung on from summer. And like, I have a random azalea that's flowering for some reason. This one on the back side of the house. None of the other azaleas are blooming, but this one is. I don't know, but we took all the seedlings that were underneath the tea plants and pulled them up and put them in pots because my dream is to have a whole hedge of tea plants. That would be amazing. My brain is all over today because I have so many things that I want to get done and need to get done and so little time. And every time I look around, I just see more things that I'm in the middle of trying to do or want to get done and haven't got done yet. But I am going to get to work on gathering up all of the rest of the pots that are spread out around the garden, and who knows where, they could be anywhere, and get them all into the greenhouse so we can get stuff planted in there. And I'm going to keep starting broccoli and cabbages and things until I have all of my pots completely filled up and I have no more space in my greenhouse. So let me know if you are planting things over the winter. Are you doing it outside where you are? Can you do it in a greenhouse? I've seen some really cool ideas where you can dig down into the ground and just put like a roof over it and it'll keep it temperate. And that sounds like a project I really want to try, especially because I get a lot of old windows for free. And so I've seen like where you can make the roof out of windows and then it's like a dig down the stairs and go into the greenhouse. The only thing I would have to worry about is like we get really hard rain sometimes and I wouldn't want all the rain to go down in there and flood it. But I've thought about doing something like that, like a root cellar or something outside too. Anyways, like I said, my brain is all over the place. Thanks for hanging out with us today. That's how we're using our greenhouse, and I'll see you next time.